All right, picking up where we left off, but this time we're going to do the solutions to this bottom part down here, the 3 patterns. Okay, so we can try to color all of the lights and odds, even, or odds red and evens blue. Let's start off with that. So here we were able to color every third one blue by doing modulus 3. Let's take this whole loop here, this for loop, and let's put it inside of our pattern 1. Here we go. Paste. And I gotta fix the spacing here. There we go. Alright, so for every LED light that is divisible by 2, these would be even. So these are the even ones. If a number is divisible by 2, that means it is even. Is the number even? If it is even, we'll color it blue. Alright. Then we can use an else statement to color the opposites, right? So these are even. That would mean the opposite would be else. Light dot modulate equals red. Okay, so right here it checks to see if the address is even. If it is, it will color it blue. Otherwise, it will color it red. Alright, so now when I run this, you'll see that we have blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. Alright, now that's great, that works, good. Let's see what's actually happening with this. So if we do print, and if you come up to the top here, you'll see I've got a couple variables here. One of them is called counter. I'm going to grab counter 1. Counter 1, and I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to print out counter 1. And if you run this, you will see that the number counter 1 just starts going, starts printing. So what's happening is every certain amount of time this function plays, and it's just playing over and over and over again. So what I want to do is I want to make this counter go from 0 to 1, just back and forth, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. That's what I want to do. I want to make it go back and forth. So it starts out at 0, so I'll say if counter 1 is 0 equals 0, let's just make it 1. Counter is equal to 1. Else, we'll make it back to 0. Alright, so pretty much all I've done is I'm making that number go back and forth between 0 and 1. 0, 1, 0, 1. Now, we want to do the same thing with these lights, but we'll use counter to do that. So you can write an if statement here, or you can put it, there's like so many different ways to do this. I'll do it this way. I'll say if counter 1 is equal to 0, color this one blue. Else, oops. I can do the red here. I'll just grab this. Okay, so now it says, if you're following along with what just happened, this thing is going 0, 1, 0, 1 over and over. And the first time we ran this, it only colored it blue. Well, now it's going to see if it's 0, color it blue. Else, that must mean it's 1, color it red. Alright, now we'll do the same thing here, except we'll use the different I think actually we could use the same number. We could say if counter is 0, color it red, else color it blue. Okay, so now every time this changes from 0 to 1, it's also going to change this. So if the counter is 0, it's going to color it blue and red. But then if counter is 1, it's going to color it red and blue. Let's go. Let's see if it works. Let's go working. I'll play the main scene this time. So then you can see that it's doing that. It's coloring. You can change the speed here and you can watch it change at different rates. So there you go. That's what it looks like. Alright, great, great, great. Alright, I don't need to keep printing this counter off, so I'll comment that out. What about the next one? Alright, so if you come back up to the top again, we have a chaser variable. We're going to do the same thing with this chaser variable. So on this one, we only wanted 2 different patterns, so 0, 1, 0, 1. This one, we want to go from 0 to 29. So we want our counter, let's just print our counter, or actually chaser is what we call it. Let's take our chaser and print it out. But what we want to do is we want to make chaser go all the way up to 29. And then once it gets past 29, we don't want to let it stay that. We want to set it back at 0. So we'll say if chaser is equal to 29, we want to set it to 0. So we'll say chaser equals 0. Else we'll add 1 to chaser. So increment. I'll even put that out there. Alright. So now let's check this out. So if we run this and we click the pattern 2, it'll print out what the number of chaser is. So let me print this or play, and I'll click on pattern 2, and you can see it goes from 0 to 29. 0 to 29. 0 to 29. And it just keeps repeating. So we want the light to go from here all the way to the end and then back. All the way to the end and back. And I think this one is green. It's supposed to be green. Alright, so let's grab all of our lights again. We'll use that for loop we made. So for light in LED lights. And we'll say if the address, so how do we get the address? We get the address by saying LED underscore lights dot find. And what are we looking for? We're looking for the address of the light that we're at. So if this address is equals to chaser, that means we want that light to be green because we want it to go, the light to go from 0 all the way to 29. So we want to color that light green. So we'll say light dot modulate is green, like so, capital G. Alright, so if the light matches the chaser, color it green. If it doesn't match the chaser, that would be else. That's an else statement. Do we want it to be green? No, we want it to be white. We want it to be off. So in our case, off is white. So dot modulate equals white. The colors are up here, so white is one of those colors. Alright, let's go ahead and run this. Oops, not that one. The main scene. We'll run the main scene. And then pattern 2, the light goes from, and you can see it goes from 0 all the way up to 29, which is our 30th light, because there's 30 in the array. And you can see that it matches that number. So, and you can change the speed to slower if you want to check it or go really fast. Warp speed. Alright. Alright, that is our number 2 pattern. Let's go to our number 3 pattern. This one wants a light from 0 to 29. So a random light to blink a random color of these colors, and that's just our color array. So let's come up here. Here's our colors array. We're going to need this. And then you'll also notice we have RNG, and I put a random number generator in there. Let me show you how that works. I'm going to put down here. There's our colors array, so I don't forget the name of it. So let's just print RNG dot, and then if you type rand I range, rand I range, and we want to go from 0 to 29. Now when I run this, it's going to pick a random number for us from 0 to 29. So that makes a random number from 0 to 29. You can see it's just trying to pick out random numbers for us. Okay, cool. Now, what about picking a random light? Well, we can just use this as a random light. So we need to know how many lights do we have? Well, it goes from 0 to 29. So if we want a random light, so we'll say LED underscore lights square bracket, and then this one, random, this random number here. Grab this random number from 0 to 29. So that's going to pick a light out of there randomly. Dot modulate, that means change the color, is equal to, and now we need one of these random colors here. So just like we did with the light, we picked a random light, we're going to pick a random color. So I'm going to grab this color array, and we're going to do the same thing again. Now the only difference with this one is the range is different. There are 30 lights to choose from. How many colors are there to choose from? Let's start. Make sure you start with 0. So 0. We'll start with 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll grab this random range, and we'll do that right there, but not to 29, but to 6, I think. So let's count again. I think there's a total of 7, including 0. Make sure top number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. All right. So we have our colors array. It picks a random color from 0 to 6. This one picks a random light from 0 to 29. Let's see if that works. So we'll run this. There's our every other one. There's our chaser, and here is our random light, random color. I'm going to go ahead and turn it up. There we go. It is picking a random light and choosing a random color. Alright, that's it for all of this, guys. Hopefully you learned something in this, and maybe you'll even make some other patterns, and you can show them off. Alright, you guys have a great day. I will see y'all in the next one.